Hello everybody, I am so happy to be here today. My name is Kelly and I'm going to be reading you 3 of my favorite books. But first I'm going to start with a little song and it goes like this. See my drums? Okay, you can pat on your lap, or if you have drums you can use drums too. It goes like this. Hello everybody, how are you? Hello everybody, how are you? It's such a lovely day. We're glad you came to play. Hello everybody, how are you? All right, are we ready for a book? The first book is called How Martha Saved Her Parents from the Green Beans, and it's by David LaRochelle. Did you know he lives in Minnesota? Pretty neat, huh? All right, let's start here. Here's Martha on the front with her little dog. You see all the green beans? I don't know if you can see them, but they do not look happy. So I'm curious to hear about how this goes. Every Tuesday evening, Martha's family had green beans for dinner. If you can see Martha there, she doesn't look very happy. Makes me think she doesn't like green beans. Every Tuesday night, Martha was left alone at the table, staring at a plate of green beans that she wouldn't eat. "Green beans are good for you," said her mother. "Green beans will make you strong," said her father. They were both wrong, thought Martha. Green beans are bad, very bad. But even Martha did not know how bad green beans could be. Not until the day that a gang of mean green beans swaggered into town. These green beans had black beady eyes, long curly mustaches, and they wore tall cowboy hats and sharp pointy boots. They chased old ladies up and down the street. They threw rotten tomatoes at teachers. They stormed into restaurants and tossed the cooks in garbage cans. Anyone who ever said, "Eat your green beans," was in big, big trouble. Martha's parents were reading in the den when the beans barged into the house. The bad beans jumped on top of the furniture. They tied her parents with long leafy vines. They whooped and hollered and made rude noises. Martha was in the kitchen staring at a plate of cold beans. When she heard the ruckus, she ran into the den. It was empty. The front door was open and a note was tacked on the wall. The note says, "We have taken your parents, the beans." No more parents meant no more nagging to clean her room. No more parents meant no more getting to bed when she wasn't sleepy. And no more parents meant no more green beans for dinner, ever. "Hooray!" shouted Martha. She threw her plate of green beans right out the window. Then she grabbed a box of cookies and settled on the couch to watch her favorite movies long past her bedtime. She looks pretty happy, doesn't she? She has a bunch of junk food around her. She's staying up late watching a movie. Martha was happy. Look at her. She's using her scooter in the house, climbing on all the cushions. Uh-oh. But not really. Look at her in bed. She looks a little scared all by herself. She missed her parents and wanted them back. By morning, she knew what she had to do. She marched out of the house and followed a trail of leaves that led her to the cave. Outside the cave, she saw her mother and father tied to a rock. They were surrounded by hundreds of green beans, laughing and dancing and singing off key. "Give me back my parents," shouted Martha. The beans did not even look at her. "Untie them right now." The beans only snickered. "Let my parents go or I will—" "Or you will what?" said the beans. "Or I will eat you," said Martha. They looked very scared. The air grew cold. The singing and dancing stopped. The leader of the beans stepped forward and spat on the ground. "You will not eat us," he said with an evil sneer. "You have never eaten a green bean in your life." He took a step closer to Martha. Then another, and another. With every step, the beans seemed to grow larger. He climbed onto the rock and looked Martha in the eyes. "You are too much of a coward to eat a green bean." Martha's legs felt like melting butter. She wanted to run home and hide beneath her bed, but she pinched her nose, opened her mouth, and swallowed that bean in one big gulp. The other beans gasped. Martha ate those beans too. When she untied her parents, they hugged her and kissed her and told her that she was very brave. Crunch, 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 her dogs helping her eat the beans. From that day on, Martha's family never had a green beans for dinner again. Instead, they had broccoli or corn on the cob or a nice leafy salad. Everyone knows that there is nothing bad about a nice leafy salad. Ho ho ho, or is there? Can you see the salad? It doesn't look very nice. The end. I hope you like that one. It's one of my all-time favorites. I have another one here. It's called My Garden. This is a book I used to read my little girls when they were very small. It's kind of nice to read about flowers this time of year. I'd like to see some more outside. My garden. My mother has a garden. I'm her helper. I water, I weed, and I chase away the rabbits so that they don't eat all the lettuce. It's hard work, and my mother's garden is very nice. But if I had a garden, there would be no weeds, and the flowers would keep blooming and blooming and never die. In my garden, the flowers could change color just by my thinking about it. Pink, blue, green, purple, even patterns. And if you picked a flower, another one would grow right back in its place. In my garden, the rabbits wouldn't eat the lettuce because the rabbits would be chocolate and I would eat them. If I planted seashells, I'd grow seashells. If I'd planted jelly beans, I'd grow a great big jelly bean bush. Wouldn't that be fun? Sometimes in my garden, good, unusual things would just pop up. Buttons and umbrellas and rusty old keys. In my garden, there would be birds and butterflies by the hundreds, so that the air was humming with wings. The tomatoes would be as big as beach balls, and the carrots would be invisible, because I don't like carrots. I didn't like carrots as a kid either. At night, the morning glories would stay open, shining like the stars, and the strawberries would glow like lanterns. It's night now. Only the fireflies and the porch light are glowing. Before bed, I take one seashell from the shelf in my room and I go to the garden. I poke the seashell into the ground. Who knows what might happen? I cover it up with dirt and pat the dirt down with my foot. "What are you doing?" asks my mother. "Oh, nothing," I say, "just working in the garden." And there's the seashell she planted. Looks like it's growing little roots. Isn't that fun? That's one of my favorites, my garden. All right, I have my last book I'm going to read, and it is by Mo Willems, and he is my favorite too. Here's Piggy, an elephant, and the elephant's name is Gerald, and he has a little bird on his head, and the book is called "There is a Bird on Your Head." These are so silly. There is a bird on your head. There's Gerald and Piggy, and in flies the little bird. head? Piggy looks and says, yeah. There is a bird on your head. There is a bird on my head? Ah! Is there a bird on my head now? No. Uh-oh. Now there are 2 birds on your head. Gerald does not look happy. What are 2 birds doing on my head? Oh, they are in love. The birds on my head are in love? They are lovebirds. Lovebirds. How do you know they are lovebirds? Looks like they're bringing some stuff down on Gerald's head. They are making a nest. 2 birds are making a nest on my head. Here they go. The nest is getting bigger. Why would 2 birds make a nest on my head? Look at them. I am afraid to ask. Do I have an egg on my head? And if you can see, there's a couple eggs there. Piggy takes a close look. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 eggs on your head. I do not want 3 eggs on my head. That's what Gerald's saying. Piggy says, then I have good news. The eggs are gone. The eggs are hatching. They're kind of breaking up there on Gerald's head. Hatching? The eggs on my head are hatching? Cheep, cheep, cheep. They have hatched. Piggy has a little tear. He's so happy. Now I have 3 baby chicks on my head and 2 birds and a nest. I do not want 3 baby chicks, 2 birds, and a nest on my head. Where do you want them? Somewhere else! Oh, Gerald is so frustrated. Why not ask them to go someplace else? Ask them. Ask them. Okay, I will try asking. Excuse me, birds. Will you please go someplace else? And the birds say, no problem. It worked. Here's Mom and Dad hauling the little birdies off. They say bye. Now there are no birds on my head. Thank you, Piggy. Thank you very much. Piggy says, you are welcome. And he's got the birds on his head. The end. Wasn't that a good one? I think it'd be fun to watch the little birdies hatch on your friend's head. Not too sure I'd want them on mine though. Well, thank you everybody. It was really fun reading stories to you. I hope that we will see you soon at the library when we reopen safely. Have a good day. Bye-bye.